So even when these companies send me products to test out, number one, there's no guarantee that you're going to get a review. Number two, it's never going to be a favorable review. Normally, I don't do a review if I don't like it, but because I've already put out a video that says that I like it, and now you sent me a new formula, this is what you're selling people, my opinion has changed. So I want to make sure that I am being honest with you guys and sharing with you my true thoughts, so that way, should you get a bottle like this and you go to apply it and you're not seeing the same experience and you're saying, Chelsea, something's not matching up, I want to explain to you why.
So we are back applying CCI Revolution to this 3-row SUV. You can see we've got a lot of territory, but we did an entire truck with a cap on the bed with half of this bottle. So I'm curious to see just how far we can stretch this coating. This is a very quick flashing coating. So I learned my lesson last time. This gives you about 20 seconds before you have to level. So we're gonna move a little bit faster, but I'm curious if we're gonna have a different feeling with this coating with the door up. Last time I had the AC on, but it is a cooler day. We put it on thick, and you can see our sweating. And they told me when you see that sweating, it's ready to go. So we've got 2 towels, and we're gonna come in, and we're gonna level. Okay, you can see all the residue. Second towel. This is so much better on a dark colored vehicle. The last time I used this was on a white car, and it was really hard to see. That
Little did I know, these were the final moments I'd feel like this.
But if we, and you can see just after going in one direction, it's already started to flash. But you can see this so easily, and I don't even have my softbox light out. I don't have, you know, any of the lights off. I have full lights on the shop. So if you're working on a darker colored vehicle, I mean, look at that.
Would you look at this?
Yeah, well.
Would you look at that?
That sweating tells you that it has already started to bond with the clear coat, and it's actually flashing off the transfer solution. We're going to let it go to the point where maybe we get a little, see how it's getting a little hazy, looks a little dry. Just want to kind of see, does that make it more difficult? Now that I can truly see it, and I can gauge and see, are we going to have any ghosting? Are we going to have any issues? And my gosh, no.
So after I had done that first video working with Revolution where I said I loved it, best pro-grade coating I've ever used, Michael Hill, their chemist, actually contacted me and said, it looks like you're using our previous formula, and we had to update the formula because some of the ingredients in that bottle we can't actually legally use or sell in the US. So they sent me a new bottle, which is a new formula. I don't know what I'm in for, but we had finished up the first bottle on the hood, the roof, the front grille, and the trunk. So now we're going to finish up the rest of the sides with this new formula.
I got the sides to do still. So they sent me a new bottle of the coating. This is supposed to be a little different. I don't know if it's good or bad.
So with the previous formula, I could apply to almost 2 sections at a time, but realistically 1, and give it anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds to flash off before I needed to level. I was thinking that this was going to be a similar situation, and I was looking for that sweating that we had had with the first formula to occur, and I'm not really seeing as much sweating with this. It did have some sweating, but it was a lot smaller, a lot tighter. And in fact, this doesn't look as wet. So I am reapplying coating because maybe I didn't apply it thick enough to see that sweating. But I realized after the fact that this is way too long to let this new formula sit on the panel. This is literally apply and immediately level. This right here is going to screw me over by looking for the sweating, looking for the indicators. If you're working with their new formula, just immediately level.
Ooh, yeah, this is very different. Oh my. No, you're fine.
So
Oh no.
Here, my husband is just casually talking about his day. Meanwhile, I am literally starting to panic. What did I just do?
I don't like this.
sorry.
No. What the heck? Oh no.
Very grabby.
Oh. So we're gonna... That's not good. We're gonna go super thick and we're gonna wipe off immediately.
Sometimes when dealing with formulas like this, if you apply and reactivate the solids and immediately level, you can remove the streaks and high spots.
Alright, so this second formula is definitely very, very different from what I just had my hands on.
Thank God for my softbox light to be able to see any sort of streaks or high spots. But even though we were able to fix the issue, reactivate the solids, and immediately level, it took quite a bit of a heavy hand and massaging to remove those streaks. I was exhausted by the time I was done doing our side panels.
Okay, so I was seeing a lot of people online, they were like, oh, Revolution is definitely not like a coating that you want to screw up, and I was like, huh? Because it was so easy.
But now you understand.
Now I get it. Now I get it. You're not bugging me. I was just,
You managed to put that sausage back in the fridge?
Yep.
Thank you.
So as I'm working with this coating, I'm realizing things have drastically changed from one formula to the next. I am having to work in like a 2x2 section. I'm having to level with almost within 5 seconds, not even that, and level pretty aggressively. I'm actually starting to sweat. I've realized I've made a video where I have recommended this coating to you guys, and if I had made that same video with this formula, I probably wouldn't have had the same sentiment. I probably actually wouldn't have even made the video because normally I don't do videos on products that I don't really like. So I unfortunately need to have a conversation with Michael and Brian both from CCI to let them know there might be a follow-up video where I say some things that you guys might not like. And they actually were all for it. They wanted me to give them honest feedback and said, we get it. You got to do what you got to do. But while I was talking to both Brian and Michael, Michael said, listen, send me a video of what you're seeing. So this is what I sent Michael. Okay, applicator is good and primed. Been shaking the bottle every section. And I'm just going to do this little bit right here. So you can see what it looks like. It's kind of wet, not as big, sweating. And even that, I think, is gonna bite me. Taking that time, I'm gonna come in and try to level. So after first towel, this is kind of what I got going on. You can see we got a lot of streaks. And then that second, this is the dry side of that towel. It is just dragging my towel, and it is fighting me. I'm learning not to let it sit on that long, but even the 5 seconds that I was kind of showing you, sometimes it just feels like that's too much. So with the light, see, I feel like that is the only way for me to manage it. That is not bad, but that is also me working very quick and kind of just having to really push my arm to the limit. All right, so we're gonna do another section together. I'm gonna do this top. Maybe I'm gonna regret going this wide. Up and down. Get that on. So I can see there's our sweating, but it's nowhere near as large. I'm gonna do the semicircles because straight lines just make it harder. Okay,
to just show you. This is kind of after the first towel, which that first formula you sent me, that was nowhere near the issue. Like that first towel, it was a little wet, but nowhere near like streaky high spots. And you can see like even right there, like that's a high spot. Comes out with heavy massaging, but even here, like I am putting a good bit of pressure down just to get rid of the streaks. Trying to do this with one hand. See right there, I think there's a streak. So that's my experience. Still got a lot of streaks that I gotta massage out. I'm gonna get 2 hands for this, but just wanted to give you some feedback. I am having to work smaller sections, and leveling just takes a good bit more energy to get all those streaks out.
This is the response that I received from Michael, and I actually really appreciated the fact that he said that they were going to look into it and try to make it better. Okay, so I don't normally do this, but I feel like I have to do this. I did a video where I shared with you guys my experience working with this coating, and absolutely love the coating. Super easy. Equated it to Gianmo's Evo with ease of application, and the fact that we have a pro grade product that is that easy, it got like 2 thumbs up. I got a call from Michael Hill, the chemist, after I did that video, and he's like, hey, we noticed that you had an old formula. We're gonna send you out a new formula. They sent me out the bottle. I had a half of the first bottle left, and so I didn't want to waste it because it's a very expensive ceramic coating, and I put it on the roof hood, trunk, the front grille, a few panels. Got to the point where I was almost out, and I figured, you know, for the sake of consistency, from here back on both sides, we're gonna put the new formula. If it's more durable, our sides are what gets hammered the most. That makes sense to me. I was expecting it to be the same application, and it is not. It is actually extremely grabby. It is extremely quick at leveling. But in my first video, I highly recommended it and was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, everyone should go check this product out. I'm gonna be fully transparent with you guys. For the price of this bottle and for what the application is like at this point with this formula, I'm not a fan and I don't recommend it. That being said, I'm gonna give feedback to CCI. Go back to your middle formula when it comes to application, but somehow give it the durability that you guys are expecting from a pro grade product. That's where I would land. For me, I get it. Pro grade products typically are more tenacious, more of an involved process, and this does feel more like the typical pro grade products that are out there, but I'm not a fan of pro grade products like this. There's a reason why I use primarily prosumer grade coatings, and I want to kind of get into for just a second my thoughts on these whole pro grade installer only products. And I, you know, even in that video, I asked the question, do they have a place within the industry? We all know that the detailing industry is a billion-dollar industry, and there are hundreds, if not possibly thousands, of ceramic coatings out there. And when we get into blending and white label, I mean, the sky's the limit at this point. You never really know what coating you're working with because it could just be a white label from a different manufacturer. It's just your private label on it. And so it can be really hard trying to figure out which ones work. That's why, for me, I put them on my vehicle. I test them out in the real world. And I have prosumer grade to pro grade coatings on my vehicle. And the only pro grade product that is really performing, Veros Pro, like Day One, Duraslick, Art to Shine, Armor Detail Supply, all of those products, they might be looking slightly better than some of the prosumer grade products out there, but not to the degree that I would say would warrant paying extra for the products, let alone maybe a little bit more grabby or difficult application process For me personally, I have prosumer grade products on there that are $70 to $90 a bottle. They have lasted almost 2 years and they were very easy to work with. Personally, this is just my opinion, I would rather polish off and reapply and put a new coating on every 2 years and have a more affordable coating that was wonderful to work with versus something that might last 6 to 9, maybe 12 months longer. That's $100 more and not pleasant to work with. That's just my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with me, but I've been on the fence with ceramic coatings and brands and who I wanted to stick with, and I've been on the fence with, do I go with a pro grade product that maybe brand wise makes me look more legit, more professional. You know, we have brands like G Technique and Gion that a lot of customers recognize, but even Gion Mo's Evo, 18 months, 2 years. It's not the most durable product. G Technique, their CSL and EXO V5 has lasted 2+ years and looks fantastic, but again, that's a 2-layer coating, so you have to take into consideration 2 bottles, more time to apply, but it has performed really well, okay? If I want to go that route, that is the option I feel for G Technique or Gion I would go. But while customers might recognize the brand, for me, I don't know if they're the products that I want to use, if that makes sense. But when I'm looking at pro grade products and brands that I want to help me feel more legitimate, when I call these companies and inquire about becoming authorized with them, when they tell me I either have to attend a class, which sometimes requires flying or driving to a location, paying for a hotel, paying for the class registration. Yes, maybe they might give me product with it, but that is an investment of my time and money. Or I have to join a group that I have to pay $400, $500, or I have to buy into a tier, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 just to gain access. And maybe, yes, they'll give me product and I should make that money back after one coating. I don't want to have to do a coating for free to pay you to have access to the products. When for me personally, I can buy a $79, $99 bottle coating, get 2+ years out of it, and it's easy to work with, and I don't have to join a program. Because to me, when we start getting into these authorized installer only programs where I have to buy into it or go to a class, it feels a little bit like a pyramid scheme. That's just my thoughts. And I feel like I want to say to those companies, get it, it's a business. That's why they are limiting access, so that way it dries up the value. But as a professional detailer, personally, that is not something that I've just determined that is not something that I feel like is worth investing in. In today's economy, I want to invest in myself. I do. And for those of you that you want to go to the class and learn about the product, I feel like, you know, that's up to you to decide. But personally, I don't believe that I would see the benefits of that financially in the long term, to take that risk financially or to purchase into that product. I feel like if I had a company that had a pro grade product, the only thing that I would need to verify or to make sure that we have quality control is skills validation, which could be done maybe through a Zoom call where we don't have to drive or fly to a class and do something in person. Have a Zoom meeting with maybe an installer where we go over training that way. And I get it, that takes time sometimes and you got to pay that installer for it. So I get it, maybe a small fee to pay him for his time, but it ain't $500 worth and it ain't $1,000, $2,000 worth. And if your product is $288 to purchase, when we all know it doesn't cost that much, and then I'm having to pay almost $500 just to have access to it. Yes, I might get access to it. So basically I'm paying $250 for the program because I'm getting a bottle of the coating. But again, the coating doesn't cost that much. I mean, again, this is just all of the thoughts going through my head. And I want to know, do you guys agree? What are your thoughts? And I feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had within this industry. And I'm not necessarily understanding why. So for those of you who maybe have bought into these programs or gone to the classes, or you've purchased the pro grade installer only coatings and you've paid the tiers or whatnot, have you seen the benefit of it? Are you reaping the rewards of the investment of your time and money? I'm curious, let me know. I could be completely wrong. But I at least wanted to be transparent with you guys about my experience with this. At this state, with this formula, not a fan. Can't recommend it. As far as application. Now, durability, I'm sure we're going to get that durability because when coatings are this grabby and this difficult to apply, normally they're going to perform. I mean, I'm just hands down, okay? That's been my experience. This feels like a Veros Pro type situation, and Veros Pro has performed really well for me. Did I install something that's subpar? I actually have that same coating on this customer's vehicle. So if I see this vehicle back and the roof and the hood and the trunk start to fail, but our sides look fantastic, well, then that says to me, well, maybe you made a good decision updating the formula, but as far as user application, I'm not trying to blast. And I really don't like making videos where I put any companies on blast, but I feel like at this point, my channel, I have people who follow me because they value my honesty. And that is one thing that I always do. So even when these companies send me products to test out, number one, there's no guarantee that you're going to get a review. Number two, it's never going to be a favorable review. Normally, I don't do a review if I don't like it. But because I've already put out a video that says that I like it, and now you sent me a new formula, this is what you're selling people, my opinion has changed. So I want to make sure that I am being honest with you guys and sharing with you my true thoughts. So that way, should you get a bottle like this and you go to apply it and you're not seeing the same experience and you're saying, Chelsea, something's not matching up, I want to explain to you why. So go into it understanding this is going to be a grabbier coating, very quick level. I'm going to share that with you guys in just a second, but I'm actually going to have to set up my camera and get it like hooked up right because I don't even have time to grab my camera to show you. That's how quick this stuff flashes. So for those of you that want a real look at the new formula of CCI Revolution, what the application and leveling process is like, I don't get any kickback from this. This is just me being 100% transparent with you guys. So I have 5 panels left to do. Dear help me God. Let's pray that everything goes accordingly.
So I just got off the phone with the reps over at CCI. And one thing that I can actually appreciate, I had to be very honest with them. I told them my thoughts on the coating. I told them that because I made a video, which they didn't pay me for, they didn't ask me to do it, I did it on my own fruition, but I made a video and I put out there that I highly recommend this product, super easy, because of what I have experienced now with this new formula, that I have to make a follow-up video. And they said they completely understand. You know, I don't ever want to blindside companies when I have to make videos like this. And this is the challenging part about content creation, is that, you know, to what end are you going to value a business relationship or being transparent? And to me, I would much rather be transparent and honest than worry about any sort of potential business relationship. I didn't get paid to do the video. You know, for me, I thought I was putting out content that was going to help you guys figure out which coating you want to work with. And I'm very thankful that this is the last section. They did actually give me some information that the version that they sent me the first time, so I was like, why did you change the formula? And they said that there was actually ingredients in the first formula that they legally cannot sell in the States anymore. And so they had to change the formula. And you can see, we already see our sweating. I'm not gonna mess around with this. All right, but so that middle formula that they first sent me, it's gone. Can't get access to it anymore. Kind of sad about that. And I said, if you could figure out a way to go back to that with ingredients that are legal in the States, that would be what I recommend. And I'm not going to say that any company should change their product because of my opinion, okay? But if you guys were going into it thinking it was going to be super easy to install this coating, I at least need to put out updated information on, 1, my opinion, 2, my experience, so that way you guys can continue to trust when I say that I love a product or when I don't love a product. I've not worked with every version of every product out there, but the versions that I work with, you guys know you're getting honesty when you watch my reviews. And since now they have an updated formula I have to kind of say I don't like it.
So thankfully, when I pulled this out into the sunlight to inspect it, because of our softbox, using that while we were applying it, we didn't have any streaks, which I was really nervous about. And when the customer came to pick up their vehicle, literally they said to me, "Chelsea, holy cow, the gloss on this paint," they were blown away. It did make the vehicle look amazing. So I'm not going to say that the coating isn't a great coating. For me personally, I'm just not a fan of the installation. How important is installation for you guys as a coating installer? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But we'll see you guys in the next detail.